Hey guys, Mrs. Fox here with part three. Yes, that's right. Part three. Three. One, two. There you go. Three of 6.2. Okay. If you have not watched parts one and parts two of 6.2, stop and go watch those first and then come on back. But if you're ready and you're with me for the last and final part of lecture 6.2, then here we go. This will be nice and short, guys. We have 9 questions. We're on question 7 already. Won't be the whole 15 minutes, okay? So, election of 1860. Lincoln runs against 3 other guys. It's a close run, but ultimately what's really going to help Lincoln is there's 2 guys from each party, and that's going to help split the vote, right, in the North and the South and between the party lines and everything. Okay, and ultimately it's close, but Lincoln will win. Okay, one of the platforms Lincoln runs on while he is running during election season, right, drumming up his votes for the election for president, the platform he states about slavery is, I'm not going to abolish slavery in the South. So he guarantees the South, hey, vote for me. I'm not going to abolish slavery there. Remember back when he was running for a Senate seat in Illinois, he had said that. I will not abolish slavery, get rid of slavery, where it already exists. So in the South, it's there. You guys can keep it, but I'm not going to let it expand. So he goes running for president with that same MO, with that same idea. That's his platform when he runs. Hey, South, don't be worried about electing me, because I'm going to let you keep your slaves. Despite that, the South is not where he gets very many votes, okay? Because the South doesn't trust him. They know that his party in general, Republican Party, is anti-slave. They know that he thinks slavery is morally wrong. They know that he doesn't want slavery to expand. And so they think that if he gets into office and becomes president, you know, you promise whatever as you're running, and then once you're actually president, are you really going to stick with what you said, or are you going to backstab us if we let you in? Okay? So Lincoln is not trusted by the South. They think he will take actions over time as president to end slavery a step at a time in the South. Okay? So he wins 1860 election, becomes the 16th president of the United States. If you need more time, get your left-hand question, highlight, draw a line underneath everything you just wrote all the way across your page, because here we go. All right, here's a breakdown of the electoral vote. Remember, there's 4 of them, guys: Lincoln, Breckinridge, Bell, and Douglas. Yes, that is Stephen Douglas, who he ran in against the Senate with. That was one of the people he ran against to become president. And Lincoln is blue. So if you look, it's not like it was 90% Lincoln or anything, okay? I mean, he had some, challenges in his race, especially if you look at the popular vote. It's not like a landslide or anything, okay? So, but he does win. That's what matters, right? And for our purposes, that's what you need to know. Because have you guys ever heard of Breckinridge or Bell? Probably not, right? Lincoln won. He's the winner. You remember him as President 16. Okay? Also, keep in mind, by the way, moving forward for the Civil War and beyond, look at the map, guys. Not all 50 states by any means are in place yet, right? We've got a lot of just territories, and one of the advantages of moving from a territory to a state was you got to vote in these kind of elections, all right? Because the territories right now, they're not voting. That's why they're just browned out, all right? Okay, so again, we got some video clips on Lincoln. We got some video clips on that election. Pick and choose, pick and choose. Watch a video. You can do it. All right, so here we go. Question 8 and 9, and then we're done, okay? States' rights doctrine. We've talked about this before. I told it to you back in 6-1, okay? So hopefully at least a chunk of this is review for you, okay? States' rights doctrine. So the South had repeatedly, pretty much at this point, been threatening to secede. Remember that vocab word, secede, or leave the Union. Remember, that means America. So they're threatening to leave the United States if Lincoln won. They've been threatening secession over every little thing for quite a while, right? When California became a free state, like every time they don't get their way, right? They're threatening to leave. Well, hey, if Lincoln wins, we're leaving, all right? And here's the argument. I told you this last time in 6-1. I'm telling it to you again. This is one of those things you should know and you will need going into high school. Okay, they're arguing that, hey, we voluntarily joined the Union. And again, Union means United States. Okay, we voluntarily joined the Union, therefore we can leave if we want to. Like, why can you stop us? Well, because you signed this little binding document, contract called the U.S. Constitution, and you ratified it and decided to be part of the country. That's why. But in the Southern mind, okay, hey, we'd voluntarily signed up, we can leave. And again, I've been warning you guys for 2 PowerPoints now. It's boiling over, gonna boil over, gonna boil over, gonna boil over. Well, we're there, you guys, okay? Lincoln winning, final straw. Lincoln wins, South is fed up. South Carolina, that troublemaker South Carolina, that's where John C. Calhoun was from, the one that originally was really spreading the whole idea about states' rights, right? Okay, South Carolina, first state in our union, in the country, to secede, to leave, okay? So 1860, December of 1860, South Carolina has left. The pot is boiling over, okay? War is imminent. Over the next 6 weeks, after South Carolina takes the bold and courageous step to defy the U.S. Constitution and all northern states and the president of our country and secede, they're not alone. Over the next 6 weeks after South Carolina does it, several other states follow. Mississippi, Florida, Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana, and Texas will all initially secede. And by the end of it, they're not going to be the only ones. So it's not like it's just South Carolina all by themselves saying, we're out of here. They have friends that come with them. Okay, so no bueno. This is not good. Okay, all right, so highlight, highlight, highlight. Left-hand side question. Draw a line underneath everything you just wrote all the way across your page. And if you are not ready, push pause, because here we go. Okay, looking at the map, highlighted in that kind of weird grainy blue highlight for you, those are the people that leave first, okay? So they leave first. Remember, South Carolina is the very first person to leave, and all the rest of them will follow within 6 weeks. Then an event called Fort Sumter is going to happen. I'll talk to you about that later. Once Fort Sumter happens, a few more are going to decide to leave. Okay, Arkansas, North Carolina, Virginia, and Tennessee will ultimately also leave to join the South. So you're going to have the yellow states plus the pinkish orangey states coming together as seceded places in the South, no longer part of the United States according to them. However, not all slave states will end up leaving. Ultimately, Mississippi, Kentucky, West Virginia, Delaware, and Maryland will be called the border states because they border the slave states that left and the North, right? And they, despite being slave states, see advantages to being part of the United States of America and decide to stay. Okay, so there are some slave states that will stay with the North in the fight that will ultimately happen with the Civil War. And then obviously the green states will stay loyal to the United States. So kind of keep that map in mind. You'll see things similar as we go along. There it is in other colors. Okay, take that map in, push pause if you want to examine it for a minute. Good thing to look at. This is knowledge you will need from now through high school and into college and beyond for Civil War topic stuff. Last question, you guys. Confederate States of America. Highlight it yellow and start writing. So, first state to secede was in December of 60, right? Well, by February of 1861, those seceded states, those states that have left, okay, meet, and they decide that they are going to form their own country. All right, now remember, legally, technically, they still belong to the United States of America. They're part of the U.S. Constitution, but they have broken away and decided they want freedom, kind of like how we just broke away from England and decided we were going to be our own country. Okay, they've kind of done the same thing. And they choose to form something they call the Confederate States of America. Okay, so the Confederate States of America are all the southern states that have left. They draft their own constitution that allows for more state rights, the idea that states have more control than the federal government has. And of course, they allow slavery, right, in the Confederate States of America. They name and declare their first and what will end up being their only president, President Jefferson Davis. So Jefferson Davis, pictured on the slide there, will be the first and only president of the Confederate States of America. Now, the next step is, okay, North, guess what? Obviously, we've left. We're serious because we have formed a constitution. We have named ourselves, and we've even put in government in place, okay? The North really has two options. We can let them go peacefully because we have grown apart and we disagree on the slave and this tariff issue and other problems that they were having with each other. And we can just let the Confederate States of America be and do their own thing. Or we can say, excuse me, you can't just leave like that. That's like against the rules, kind of like England was with us. You can't just leave, right? And we can fight them to try to force them to come back into the Union, all right? So all of the Confederate States of America wait with bated breath. What is the Union going to do? Are they going to let us leave peacefully, or are they going to try to fight us and pull us back to the Union? You guys kind of know, with hindsight being 2020, we end up fighting, right? But they didn't know at the time. Remember, they're going through it, right? One day at a time, if it was going to be a war or not. So here's some things that show you kind of a little bit about the Union, or I'm sorry, the Confederate States of America, the South, right? There's their flag and the states that make up the Confederate States of America ultimately, and they even had their own money. They had a White House, right? That's where Jefferson Davis lived during the time that he was in office. There's video clips on Jefferson Davis and the Confederate States of America. Definitely recommend you kind of pick and choose about the South seceding and about Jefferson Davis and those kind of things, guys. That brings us to the end of PowerPoint or Google Slide Deck 6.2, all right? Make sure you turn in that summary. Don't forget, you guys had, what, 9 questions, so about 18-sentence summary that you guys need, okay? Watch some of those video clips. I'll make them available for you on the Flipped Classroom area of the website. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your week. Hope you're well, and I'll see you soon.